चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः श्रीबालान्धजडोपमा स्वहमिति भ्रान्तादृशं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमहा व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः।
जन्माद्यस्यतः न च स्वभावतः विशिष्ट देश काल निमित्तानां इहोपादानात् एतदेवानुमानं संसारि व्यतिरिक्तेश्वरास्तित्वादि साधनं मन्यन्ते ईश्वर कारणिनः। The Jagat as described with 4 adjectives. He is created by Ishvara, who is Sarvajna and Sarvashaktiman. No one else, nothing else can create the Jagat. Now, this Anumana, so what is that Anumana? Of course, Anumana means without this Ishvara, without this creator, creation is not possible. Is a Vyatireka, means a contrary, that means absence of the creator is pointed out. Tarkikas take it in the positive way. Whatever that is created must necessarily have a creator. Jagat is created or not? Yes. Therefore, there must be a creator who is the Ishvara, who is the Sarvajna and Sarvashaktiman, that is there. So Vedanta doesn't accept this because number one, their Ishvara is different from the Jiva. Jiva Ishvara Bhinnata is there. Number two, they don't take into account whatever that is created has a creator is correct to all those things we see, we perceive directly. As for example, like a mud pot. So mud pot is created, we have seen. If you are not saying like this, we know that. So like that, anything created has got a creator. But as for the Jagat, who has seen that Bhagavan was sitting one day and what was he doing? He was creating the Jagat. I had gone for an evening walk and at that time I saw Bhagavan. Achha, you had gone for an evening walk. Means you are there already there. And to walk, earth also must be there or not. And for you to survive, air, water must be there also. And Bhagavan was creating. This creation is already there as such. So no. For Atindriya, Tarka by itself cannot function. For Atindriya Vastu, Tarka by itself cannot function. Shruti says, then you can take the supporting reasoning. That is what I say. Vedanta accepts this Anumana as a Shruti Sammata Tarka, a reasoning supporting the Shruti, to understand the Shruti better, but not as an independent Pramana. This is what I say. Etadeva Anumanam samsara vyatirikteshwarastettvadi sadhanam. Adi for Sarvajnatva also. Tika says in that one, seventh line. Sarvajnatvam adishabdarthaha. There sarvajna, there astitvadi is astitva is the existence of Ishvara. Adi for sarvajnatva Ishvara. So the same anumana, as you have seen, whatever that is created must necessarily have a creator. That is what they prove as the this anumana to prove the existence of Ishvara, who Tarkikas. Now here that manyante was told. No, manyante, second line bhashya, manyante Ishvara karanaha. So the Tarkikas consider this to be anumana. That consider shows it is not actual anumana, it is abhasa, just a semblance of anumana. अभी तार्किका का भाई आ गया था. How dare you can say that? So it is actually a real anumana. You can't brand it as a abhasa, manyante, etc. Who is this? He is Vaisheshika. He stands up now. Continuing.
ननु इह अपि तदेव उपन्यस्तं जन्मादि सूत्रे.
No, this Purapaksha is by Vaisheshika. Vaisheshika. It says, look, not simply say you have said manyante as it's not correct. It is the truth. It is the reality. It is the fact. So why? Not only that, this sutra is based on this anumana only. Janmadhyasya yataha. This sutra is based on this anumana only. So therefore it says, nanu iha api. Iha means where? Asmin sutre. In this sutra, what sutra? Bhagavan sutrakaraha. So what he has said? He said iha. Where is that iha api? Janmadi sutre. Even here, what is that here is being specified as Janmadi sutre. Janmadhyasya yataha sutre. Tadeva. Tadeva means the same anumana. What is that anumana? Yat karyam tat sakartrikam. Line 4 tika, we already seen. Yat karyam tat sakartrikam. Whatever that is created must necessarily have a creator. Tadeva, the same anumana. Upanyastam is said. What does it mean now? Janmadhyasya sutra Vyasa composed based on anumana. What is the anumana? Whatever that is created must necessarily have a creator. This is what is there. According to us, what is the whatever that we have seen so far? What is the basis? Which Shruti? Yato Vayumane. Yato Vayumane. But he says, no, we have nothing to do with the Shruti. So it is Anumana only. Let us see what he has to say. Tika. Last but sixth line. Nanu idam ayuktam. Bold Nanu is there above that. Last but sixth line. Ratnaprabha. Nanu idam ayuktam. Sir, this is not fair. Improper means what? Fair. What did you do? You branded that tarka as what? Manyante. See what is that? Shrutehe. That is that. Shrutehe anumanantar bhavam abhipretya. Why this Vaisheshika brings this Purapaksha? Because according to this Vaisheshika, there are only two pramanas. They are Pratyaksha and Anumana. And they will quote Kanada Sutra also. So you are quoting BrahmaSutra, they have got Kanada Sutra. Because that originator, that is original Kanada Sutra. So the Kanada Sutra. According to that, see that is only two pramanas are there. Pratyaksha, direct perception, and Anumana, the inference. These are the two. What about the Shruti? He says, Shruti has to operate through Anumana. Shruti has to take help of inference and then function. Shruti is not an independent means of knowledge. This is their concept. Based on that is this. What is this? This sutra, no, not sutra, this Purva Paksha is cited. So what is the Shrutehe Anumanantar Bhavam Abhipretya, intending that Shruti is included where? In the Anumana, Antarbhava, inclusion. So because the Shruti is included in the Anumana, Bhavadiya Sutrakrita, by your Sutrakara. Our Sutrakara is who? Kanada. Your Sutrakara, Bhagavan Vyasa. We give respect to him. Kanada also see, he is a great see. So Bhavadiya Sutrakrita Anumanasya eva upanyasatva. What your Sutrakara has told in Janmadhyasataha is not Shruti, but what? The same Anumana he referring to. Iti Vaisheshikaha Shankate. So that was how? Nanu iti. So he says, and therefore, Ataha Manyante, put in inverted comma. Manyante, which Manyante? Bhashya, second line, second word. That is consider. Bhashya, second. What is that? Ishvara Karanyah Manyante. They consider that Manyante iti Anumanasya Abhasoktihi Ayukta iti Bhavaha. Sir, you are hinting by Manyante, they consider that Anumana is not a correct, it is a only semblance, appearance of Anumana is Ayukte, it is not correct, iti Bhavaha. For this, the answer, before proceeding, we'll see the Tika only answer. See, if let us accept for time being, what is it? Anumana is the basis of Shruti. What is that? Janmadhyasya, not Yatova Imani. And you proceed. You need not proceed further much from next sutra onwards, especially Samanvaya Sutta to Samanvaya. Do you know what is that? Nothing but Shruti statement. The sutra is analyzing the Shruti statement. If it were meant for analyzing Anumana, nowhere Shruti should come. But everything, there is nothing but Shruti statement referred to in each and every sutras. And therefore, it is imagining that it is based on Anumana is not correct. Tikakara helps us. Say, this is answer. Yadi Shrutinam Swatantramanatvam na syat. Sir, Vaisheshika is told by Vedanti, sir, in case, Shrutinam, Shruti Vakyanam, Upanishad Vakyanam, Swatantramanatvam na syat. If they do not have the status of being independent pramana. Why he is Swatantra, he says? According to Vaisheshika, they have to work through, function through Anumana. So therefore, according to if it has to function through Anumana, no independent status for that. Say Swatantram nasya tarhi, in that case, Tattu Samanvayat ityadina. Fourth sutra, Tattu Samanvayat. That it is, what is told in the Shastra is Brahma, is by what? Samanvaya. Samanvaya is, what is Samanvaya? Oh, long back we had seen introduction. Tatparya Nischaya. Tatparya Nirnaya. Tatparya Nischaya. Ascertainment of the purport. Harmony also is a harmony, concordance, ascertainment of the purport. Tattu Samanvaya, the fourth sutra that is going to come now. Ityadina, not only that, many sutras. Tasam. Tasam means Shrutinam, of the Shruti statement. Tatparyam, the purport, the Nirnaya. the sum and substance of these all Shrutis. Sutrakrit na vicharaye. Sutrakrit is who? Sutrakara, Bhagavan Vyasa, will not analyze and inquire to ascertain it. Tasma, therefore, Uttara Sutranam Shruti Vichararthatva. Because the future sutras are meant to inquire into the Shruti statements. It says, Janmadi Sutre api, even this present sutra also, Shruti eva swatantrena vicharyate. Shruti alone, the Shruti statement alone is inquired into as an independent statement, and na anumanam iti pariharati, and not anumana iti pariharati. It refutes the Vaisheshika, this Purapaksha. Where, let us see now.
No. Vedanta Vakya Kusuma Grasanaarthatvat Sutranam Vedanta Vakyani Sutraihi Udarutya Vicharyante.
Na. So that is na. What is that na? What you said is not correct. Means Janmadi Sutra is not based on Anumana. It is not based on Anumana. Na. Why? Do you know what is the purpose of sutras? Vedanta Vakya Kusuma Grathanarthatvat Sutranam. In some context of introduction we had seen this. Sutras are meant for Grathana, stringing together the Vedanta Vakya Kusuma. Kusuma means flowers. Kusuma is flower. So what are the flowers here? Don't think Vyasa went to pluck flowers early in the morning. Say Vedanta Vakya. The Upanishad Vakyas are compared to the flower. Now see, flowers just scattered, no, don't they? But if you string into a garland, it looks beautiful. So therefore say Vedanta Vakya Kusuma Grathanarthatvat Sutranam. Sutras being composed or made are made for the purpose of, that is that, stringing together. Mean to what do you mean by stringing together? To show the harmony, the concordance between all this, the harmony, that is one and the same tatparya, that is that, say to show that sutrana. So but for this, what is done by Sutrakara? He says, take Anvaya, he Sutraihi Vedanta Vakyani Udahritya Vicharyante. He, because Sutraihi, by these Brahma Sutras, what is being done? Vedanta Vakyani Udahritya. Vedanta Vakyani, Upanishadic statement. Udahritya. What is Udahritya? Look here, generally Udaharana means what? Giving an example or illustration. Here, having narrated, Udahritya, having narrated, or having, more precisely it is, having referred to. That is better meaning than narrated also. Having referred to, that is by sutras, having referred to Vedanta Vakyas. See, such translation you will not get in the books. Something they will say. So that is that. So, because these words are very important, because if the meaning of one word is not clear, entire bhashya at times cannot make sense. Or sometimes we know Udahritya. Who doesn't know, who knows our Indian language? Udahritya is what? Having given an illustration, example. But that is not, there is no example here. Reference to. See, that's for this, Aptesh dictionary is very, very useful. Of course, there are earlier, of course, Apte also has composed a dictionary based on earlier, because the basis is Monier Williams. That is the first English. It was a great award. That's why Max Muller tried for that, and he could not get that chair at that chair, and he was very sour about it because it was money. It is a great. It was a prestigious this thing. So it's somewhere in his writing it is available. That is how he was not happy about it. Monier Williams got it herself. Anyway, so therefore you say, so of course, but what has happened? Monier Williams is totally aligned to Indian culture. He might have, of course, don't think they are Brahaspatis. They have taken help of Pandits only. But which Pandits? Those Pandits who know little English as well. So that means the interaction was not there. By Apte's time, that we start developed, etc. Apte was a great person, but he died very young, at the age of 30 or so. He was the principal of this thing. He was there. He had written many grammatical books also. Much more would have been done. And now it is afterwards, of course, dictionaries means you have to go on editing, etc. It is edited by a great scholar, but it is a very precise one as such, very concise. Anyway, so therefore, so what happens? For every Sanskrit is a language. For every word you have got 2 dozens of meaning. So how are you to remember? So you have to give up laziness, when when such comes, go through it and find out which is the appropriate. For example, udahritya, udahru you have to say. Narrate, having told you that. But with reference to, the other day, apeksha was there, so that is there. It is there with reference to also is there, but better is in accordance with, because this makes sense. This is a precise senses. So that is how it is. So here, that's why what is to be done? Laziness has to be good. This is the habit that has to be developed in the from the high school stage onwards. Otherwise, dictionaries are there to decorate the shelf. These fellows will have encyclopedia also to show that, oh, hey, great person, see what big. There are dictionaries also, dictionaries are there, but never touched, never touched. They should be made use of. That is a very healthy habit, because on that depends the knowledge. Not otherwise, because you have to go through what is written, etc. That is very important. And if the things like bhashya comes, don't ask. For you don't bother. I have done that job. like that, no? What is that called? Pre-digested food for baby food. Baby food. Pre-digested food. So what I am giving is pre-digested food. But you have to swallow it, of course. That I can't do. So you have to swallow it. Okay. Otherwise you have to do like that, The child doesn't eat. What does the mother takes the child on the waist, on her other hand it holds the plate, etc. तो कोण आहे तो काऊ का काका काय का कसा करतो का कसा करतो का. The child also does ka. Put the morsel there. So like that, that I can't do. Okay. I can tell and leave it to you. Anyway, the very fact that you are taking pains to come early morning means you are serious about it. I have no doubt about it. That is fine. I'm taking industrious notes also. I really wonder how many refer it. refer it. That joke. See, when you write, 2% knows, and afterwards only one knows. When you write, you the writer and Bhagavan two know. And after 2 years, only Bhagavan knows. You also don't know what you have written. Anyway, that is a good sign. That is fine. Okay. Therefore, you say, now, see, that means it should be udahritya. What is the meaning of udahritya? With having referred to. Otherwise it can mean having narrated, having related. So, no, because having referred to Vedanta Vakyas by Sutra, they are discussed. So that means that's a Sutra because Sutra by Sutras Vedanta Vakyani Udahritya, having referred to the Vedanta Vakyas, then what is being done? Vicharyante, they are being inquired into, analyzed to ascertain their purpose. Again, what for Vedanta Vakyas are inquired into? What is the purpose? You have to give me a word from Bhashya. What is the goal of this Brahma Vichara, Brahma Mimamsa? Not Tathparya, Brahmavagati. Brahma. The same is going to refer. Who? Bhashyakara is referring. Brahmavagati. See, that is that. Jnanene Praman, that Brahmavagati is the goal, is it not? Now, what is Brahmavagati? Sakshatkara of Brahma. Not Sakshatkara. Now, where the Brahma is unfolded? Shruti. That's why in Shruti also, so a seeker, a Shishya goes to a Guru and says, "Oh Bhagavan, please teach me that Purusha, that Brahma, which is unfolded where? In the Upanishads." Even the Shishya asks, "Me, you don't give something from your pocket, so that is precious, you can keep it. But what I want is what is discussed and unfolded where? In the Upanishads." So that's why he points out Kintika. This is a connection to the Vakyartha Vicharana Dhyavasana Nivritta I Brahmavagati Na Anumanadi Pramanantara Nirvritta. For that, the Tikakara introduces this Vakya of Bhashya. Kincha, that is that. Last but third line, last words. Kincha Mumukshoho Brahmavagatihi Abhishta. What is desired by Mumukshu? Brahmavagatihi, Brahma Sakshatkara. Yadartham means for which Brahmavagati, Asya Shastrasya Arambha. This Shastra, which Shastra? Brahma Mimamsa, Brahma Vichara is being now undertaken, inquiry is undertaken, Vichara is undertaken. Sacha, that Brahmavagati, na anumana, by inference it cannot be gained. How do you say so? Here is the Shruti. What is it? Tam tu aupanishadam purusham bruhi. Sir, please impart me the knowledge of that Aupanishada Purusha. Who is the Aupanishada Purusha? The Purusha, Atma, Brahma, unfolded where? In the Upanishad. So, Bruhi, iti Shrutehe. So, therefore, what is being inquired into is not Anumana, but what is that? Shruti Vakyas. Ataha na anumanam vicharyam ityaha vakyartha iti. So what is being inquired into is not inference but only the Shruti Vakyas, which is made clear by Bhashya. Take the next sentence. Vakyartha.
Vakyartha vicharana dhyavasana nirvruttahi Brahmavagatihi na anumanadi pramanantara nirvrutta.
Says Bhashya, Vakyartha vicharanadhyavasana nirvrutta hi brahmavagatihi. What is the goal of moksha? Brahmavagati, Brahma Sakshat. How it is accomplished? Nirvrutta, jata. How is it born? How Brahma Sakshata? Nirvrutta means jata. How Brahma Sakshatkara is born. He says it is by this vicharana. What vicharana? Inquire into Vakyartha vicharana. Vicharanam or vicharana. Both. It can be neuter or it can be feminine word also. You say Vakyartha. What is Vakyartha? Inquire into not simply Vakya but also its Artha. That's what he said. Tika Vakyasya tadarthasya cha vicharadhyadhyavasanam. So that is, which is in terms of adhyavasana, meaning is given tatparya nishchaya. So that is Brahmavagati is born of this. What is born? Tatparya nishchaya. Ascertainment of the purpose of what? Vakyasya, Shruti Vakyasya, Upanishad Vakyasya, Tadarthasya, and also the meaning of that, Vicharadi. So what is the Adi there? Not simply Vichara. Not Vichara stands for? Inquiry stands for? Shravana. Shravana. Vichara means Shravana, that's all. Adi is there, Manana, Nididhyasa. So Vichara stands for Shravana, Atma Vichara, Brahma Vichara. Then Adi is there, that is Adi for Manana and Nididhyasana. By this, whatever that is, Tatparya Nishchaya, Vicharanadhyavasana is like that. Vakyartha Vicharanayaha Adhyavasanena. Adhyavasana. By the Tatparya Nishchaya of Vakya and Vakyartha, this is what happens? Brahmavagatihi Nirvrutta. Nirvrutta is Jata, born, accomplished. What is accomplished? Brahma Sakshatkara. So there, Tikakara adds one more thing. Not simply Tatparya Nishchaya, Tika last line, earlier page, that is 50, page 50, last line. Tatparya Nishchaya, then he says, Prameya Sambhava Nishchaya cha. Tatparya Nishchaya and Prameya Sambhava Nishchaya. Ascertainment Prameya Sambhava Nishchaya. So Nishchaya, ascertainment of Sambhava. Sambhava literally means, can mean possibility here. It means Tikakara himself gives the meaning on the next page, first line. Sambhavaha Badha Bhavaha. Sambhavaha Badha Bhavaha. So Sambhava is absence of Badha, means the prameya, the thing that is ascertained by Shruti Vakyas, is something which is indestructible. Something which is indestructible. Otherwise, with all efforts and taking pains, one discards Brahma and Brahma itself disappears. Like Alexander knew that he came to know the truth. You know the Alexander? Alexander the Great, who conquered all this Indra. So he got the disease and he came to know that it is incurable. He told the ministers, when my funeral procession goes, says, keep my hands, both hands open out of the coffin. And when the funeral procession goes, etc., of course, monarchs command, yes, sire. But one elderly minister asked, sire, if people ask why these hands have been kept out, what are we to reply? He said, tell them, Alexander the Great amassed, when he acquired such a vast empire, amassed so much of wealth, but now while going, he is going with bare hands. What is the use? Like that, so much of pain you took, and then Brahma you got. Brahma itself disappeared. Like that, no, the modern banks. you, you hard earned money with sweat and toil, and you deposit, and the banks themselves disappear. Is it that way? No. Therefore I say, prameya sambhava nischayascha. What is the prameya sambhava? Prameya sambhava is that badha sambhava here is badha bhava. It is indestructible. So that also both based on Shruti and Shruti Sammata, Tarka, and finally one's own discovery. Nischayascha. Tena jata brahmavagati. Jata means nirvritta. Nirvritta meaning is jata. So brahmavagatihi. So what does it confer? Brahma Sakshatkara. Mukti. So therefore say Muktaye bhavati ityartha. That is, it serves as the means to gain the moksha. So that being the case, so why Brahma Vichara? To get Brahmavagati. Brahmavagati is gained through the ascertainment of the Shruti, Vakyas and their meaning, Tatparya, Nishchaya, not Anumana. Why not Anumana? Anumana reasoning. Do you know the field of Anumana? Field of, you see, inference is based on the data collected by perception. You collect the data and then analyze, codify, infer, etc. So and then come to a conclusion. So what is the field of Anumana? Perceptible world, the world which is accessible to the human intellect. It is called as Paurusheya. It is called as what? Paurusheya. The field accessible to the human intellect. What we are talking of Brahma is a Paurusheya. It is, if Vedas, Upanishads were not to tell us, they were not to tell us Brahma is like this, etc. It is just impossible for us to gain the knowledge of Brahma. So therefore, why? It is beyond the purview of human intellect. For example, heaven, hell, punarjanma, papa, punya is not the field of Anumana or human intellect. Atma, Brahma is not the field of this thing, because it is us. That's why Vedas come. Vedas serve as the means of knowledge. So that is it. So there is a, so Brahmavagati. So na anumadi pramanantara nirvritta. It is not nirvritta means jata. It is not born. It is not accomplished by other pramanas. What are other pramanas? Like anumana, etc. Like anumana, etc. Now this Tarkika Vaisheshika is not happy. Sir, what are you talking? Do you mean to say we are nothing? With such a great effort we have brought this Tarka, etc. and you are just dismissing us only, sir. We have no role to play. Who said you have no role to play? If you had no role to play, I would not have answered your talk. I had just brushed you aside as said. See, Anumana has a role which Shruti accepts, but not as you say. What do you say? Anumana is independent pramana. No. Why? Anumana operates in the field of intellect, and we are talking about discussing something which is beyond the purview of human intellect. Therefore, it is the field of who? Shruti. And what Shruti has told, to understand it better, whatever supporting reasoning is there, we certainly make use of. So now, the role of Anumana is being seen. Okay. Tika, 51 page, the first line. Nanu Kim anumanam upekshitam eva? Sir, what are you doing? You are just disregarding anumana. Because we are so intelligent people. Yes, yes. See, Tarkikas are very intelligent people. See, so like no lawyers can beat that. That is why if any definition is there, it runs into 4 lines minimum. Because they take into account all different possibilities and this clause, that clause, this clause, like the income tax rules. So, and make it complicated. So that is as to joke. If you want to make a easy thing difficult, learn logic. learn a simple thing you want to make it complicated, you learn from them. But it has its own discipline. It is a good discipline as such. So that is why. So now you say, what? Anumanam upekshitam eva? Are you just disregarding anumana? Say, no ityaha. So Vedanta doesn't disregard anumana. No, it's why? Satsutu.
Satsutu Vedanta Vakyeshu Jagataha Janmadi Karanavadishu Tadartha Grahana Dardhyaya Anumanam Api Vedanta Vakya Virodhi Pramanam Bhavat Na Nivaryate Shrutya evacha sahayatvena tarkasyabhyupetatvat.
Tarkasya abhyupetatvat. Shrutya eva. See, not we. Shruti herself accepts tarka as one word, as something which is helpful. Fine, we'll see that. Say, now take Anvaya, second line. Jagataha janmadi karanavadishu. Jagataha janmadi karanavadishu, first line. Vedanta vakeshu satsu tu tadartha grahana dardhyaya. Anumanamapi, rest as it is. Anumanamapi Vedanta Vakya Virodhi Pramanam Bhavat Na Nivaryate. When these are there, Satsu. Satsu means what? It is locative. Sati Saptami Prayoga, what you call it, Sati. When these are there, what are there? You say, Jagataha Janmadi Karanavadishu Vedanta Vakyeshu Satsu. When there are Vedanta Vakyas, means Upanishad Vakyas. What type of Vedanta Vakya? You say, Janma Jagataha Janmadi Karana Vadishu. The Upanishad Vakya, which, now here be careful, Vadi, not argumentator, because Vadi means the one who argues. Vadishu means which tell, so that is which assert, which describe. So that means when there are Vedanta Vakyas, Vedanta Vakyeshu, what type of Vedanta Vakyas there are? Jagataha Janmadi Karaneshu. Vadishu means which assert or tell or describe the Janma, Sthiti and Bhanga of what? This Jagat. So that is it. So when there are means, when you take into account the Vedanta Vakya which describe the Janma, Sthiti and Bhanga of the Jagat, it says, no, Tadartha Grahana Dardhyaya. Here comes the rule of Anumana. Dardhyaya. What is Dardhyaya? Dhrida Dardha means firmness. What do you mean by firmness? Free from Samshaya and Viparyasa. Tika, line 3, middle portion. Dardhyam. What is Dardhyam? Samshaya viparyasa nivrittihi. Nivrittihi, termination of samshaya, doubts, and viparyasa, erroneous concept. Erroneous concept. Brahma. Samshaya viparyasa nivrittihi. That is what is Dardhyam. What Dardhyam? Samshaya viparyasa nivritti of what? Tadartha grahana means the grasping of the meaning of Shruti Vakya. Like that, no? Acharya, Mr. Acharya and Mr. Veda. Veda says, newly born lamb, so ate the tender leaves of the banyan tree on the very branch itself of a huge tree. You have some explanation like that. Shruti says, so it is like that only and not otherwise. Further unnecessary reasonings does help us. So that is a Shruti Jagat ka tadartha grahana dardhyaya anumanam api. Even anumana also, what does the anumana also means? Beside the Shruti Vakya, Vedanta Vakya, anumanam api. And what type of Veda anumana it is? Vedanta Vakya Virodhi. Vedanta Vakyaihi Avirodhi. That which is not opposed to Vedanta Vakya. Avirodhi. Pramanam Bhavat. Bhavat means becoming. Becoming the Pramana. Na Nivaryate. Not ruled out. Na Nivaryate means not ruled out. Means Anumana as the supporting Pramana for Shruti Vakyas to understand its meaning very clearly, free from doubts, vagueness and erroneous concept, is not, that is what, ruled out. Means Anumana has a rule. But how? Shruti Sammata Vedanta Vakya Avirodhi and not independent. How do you say so? Shrutya evacha. Shruti itself takes for granted or allows the help of who? Anumana. Why is it that Shruti is incapable? Shruti is not incapable. Shruti is capable. But whatever told by Shruti, who has to know it? We have to know it. To know, for we to know what we make use of. Pramana that. Buddhi. We use intellect. The problem is there in that intellect. Problem is there in the intellect. Its capacity is limited. And it has got its own language of cause, effect and all these things. Anything beyond that purview, it is not able to understand properly. And as if it is a modern people, what I can't understand is nonsense. This is the modern argument. What I can't understand is nonsense. It has no sense at all as such. Anyway, this is not so. So that intellect needs some help. Because what is spoken is something atindriya, beyond the purview of senses and the intellect. So Anumana is certainly helpful. So therefore I say, so Shrutya eva, says by Shruti itself, Sahayatvena, as something which is helpful. Sahaya is there, and helpful, something which is helpful. Tarkasya abhipetatva. So what is being done? Tarka is this abhipetatva. So it is being accepted as abhipetat means something which is accepted. So that means Shruti herself accepts Anumana means Tarka, reasoning, as something which is helpful in understanding its own statement. So we don't discuss. Take the second line of Tika. Vimatam abhinna nimit. Say for example, some Anumana, he says, Anumana to understand the Shruti. What were we ascertaining? Karana of the Jagat. And what is that? Brahma as Sarvajna, Sarveshwara, who is the cause of Janma, Sthiti, Bhanga. This is a declaration of this thing. Now we can understand this by reasoning. How? Vimatam. You just make note of this word. This comes often. This word comes of like Purvapaksha, like Nanu. This word Vimata comes very often. Means the topic under discussion or topic under dispute. Viruddha mata, a contrary view, a contra view, or what is that? A counter proposition, Purvapaksha. So Vimatam means that which is under discussion or about which there is dispute is there. Minimum two opinions are there, more also may be there. So that is Vimata. Here, what is under discussion now? Jagat. Karyam Jagat. Vimatam is what? Karyam. That is the effect of this, that is which has come into existence as Jagat. Vimatam. It says, Abhinna nimittopadanakam. See, this is the Anumana. Tikakara helps us to understand how Anumana helps us. This Jagat is Abhinna nimitta upadanakam, means it has got the upadana and nimitta karana, which is abhinna, means one and the same. This Jagat has got nimitta karana is efficient cause, upadana karana is material cause. Generally what happens? Nimitta karana, upadana karana differs. See, when the pot maker makes the pot, mud is different, pot maker is different. So when the weaver weaves the cloth, the weaver is different and the cloth is different. So when you purchase the saris, what you bring who? Only sari, not the weaver. When you bring the pot, you don't bring the pot maker. Gadbad ho jayega. So they are different. Nimitta karana is different, upadana karana is different. But in the case of Jagat, Brahma itself is nimitta karana and upadana karana. That's why abhinna means identical, one and the same. Now this is what who says? Shruti says, and Sutra also says. But what we find different. How are you to understand this? Here is the illustration. What is it? Vimatam means karyam jagat. Abhinna nimittopadanakam is something which has one and the same, identical, nimitta karana and upadana karana. Why? Hetu, this is inference is drawing. What is the reason? Hetu karyatva. Because it is an effect. How can you give an illustration? Because Anumana means illustration must be there. Hetu, he says, Urnanabhyarabdha tantvadivat. Urnanabhi. You know who is Urnanabhi? Makdi, spider. Urnanabhi. Urnanabhi arabdha. Arabdha means created. What is that? Tantvadivat. Notice tantu, cobweb. The cobweb created by the spider. Now come on. What is the nimitta karana and what is the upadana karana? Efficient cause. Sentient being is who? Spider. Then what is the material cause? Its own saliva. Means it is from itself. Means one and the same. This is how we can understand. Otherwise, how is it possible? See, goldsmith makes the gold ornament. Goldsmith is different. Gold is different. Like that you see. No. This is there. So this is how to understand it better. We do need such anumana. Another reason. Another anumana gives. Vimatam. Vimatam is karyam jagat. Chetana prakritikam. Prakritika means an origin or the material of which something is made. Prakritika is, of course, Prakriti-adhakarana is going to come as a, so Prakritika means that which is the origin or the material of which something is made. I say Karya Rupa Jagat is Chetana Prakritikam, is something which has its origin in Chaitanya, some sentient principle, or it is born of a sentient principle. Why? Karyatva. Karyatva, because it is a karya, is something produce effect. How? Illustration. Sukhadivat. Sukha, dukkha, for whom? For those created by whom? Sukha created by who? A sentient entity must be there. Dukkha created by Dukkha created by whom? A sentient entity. Sukha dukkha without a sentient entity is not possible. So therefore say Sukhadivat iti anumanam, says Shutyartha dadhyaya apekshitam ityartha. Apekshitam, required for dardhya, for the firm ascertainment, for that means the correct understanding of meaning of Shruti. What is dardhyam? It says dardhyam samshaya viparyasa nirvritti nirvritti, termination, removal of samshaya, doubt, viparyasa, erroneous notion. So therefore Shruti does expect the anumana. Sir, can you cite an example, an illustration from the Shruti? Yes, Bhashikara obliges us. He says, take this instance from Shruti.
तथाहि श्रोतव्यः मंतव्यः इति श्रुतिः पंडितः मेधावी गंधारान् एव उपसंपद्येत
उपसंपद्येत एवमेव
इह आचार्यवान्
पुरुषः
वेद इति च पुरुष बुद्धि
साहाय्यम्
आत्मनः दर्शयति.
तथा ही means as for instance. So these phrases, no, they make you uncomfortable because they appear to be very familiar. But in that, so that is, of course, we can understand. The problem comes when you translate. Then the problem comes. Of course, you have nothing to do with that. That is why I say, I have not seen Gujarati translation, but I have seen Hindi translation, Marathi translation, Kannada translation. Precise. Because the words are there. The problem comes with the English. Gujarati also must be there. Because it's not. All our Indian languages, Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil, etc. What a vast, the Gujarati and all what a vast literature is there. So that is that. So for this, for Vedanta, our Indian languages are better than English, but we have become foreign to our own culture, and but we have to make use of that. So okay, that the context has come that way as well. So therefore, if you take any other Indian language translation, because there are great masters, scholars, who have done a good justice to that. Do you know, Chatusutri was taught to us. Afterwards, rest of the 551 sutras I have studied with Nyaya Nirnaya, with Marathi translation. Bapat Shastri, great person. Bapat Shastri. So, and here's what if it were there, if they were not there, it was not possible to study as. Of course, other thing, even Ratnaprabha books are available. Hindi translation. Hindi translations are available as well. I think something great. These books are now being reprinted. I mean, there is some value. Now see, look here, Yoga Vasishta, that Tika, no, that book is under this, Motilal Banasa is under that now consider. It may come by then a year also. There was a time it was difficult. We were xeroxing this thing. For example, Panchapadika was not available. Some old Calcutta publication was there with 9 tikas, etc. in that Panchapadika. Somewhere I had that, I got it Xerox. You know how many? This much, 4 volumes, and it was lying there in the shelf. But I could make use about 4 or 5 years back. I had done it when I was a brahmachari himself, so that is. But it has a value because that comes handy as such. So that is the case. So that means even otherwise, these books are now otherwise. Yoga Vasishta, Sanskrit Tika book being, who is going to purchase? Now the publisher like Motilal Bansa, he is not he is a pakka businessman, and he publishes means what? There is a demand for that. There is a demand. It's a good sign as such. So that even Ratnaprabha, Bhole Baba, Hindi translation, it is under already. It is don't run after too many books, okay? That also, whatever that is there, so that is enough. But these are available. So in our local language, it is very easy as such. So some technicalities are there, even if you translate it. Sometimes it happens. The word which you are not clear, and when you take the translation, same word, same word is put there as such. That is it happens. That is but not in all cases. There are good books also are there. So that is it. So now he gives an illustration as per Pathahi. What is it? What is told in Brihadaranyaka? Atmavare Shrotavyaha Mantavyaha. Stop there only. Shravana inquiry has to be done. Then he says Mantavyaha. Mantavyaha means to be reflected upon. Reflected upon means what? You have to take to reasoning. Who said this? Shruti. Mantavya is Shruti. And such instance is available in the Shruti only, Chandogya. What is it? Pandito Medhavi, that Pandita and Medhavi shows the help of Shruti, that the Anumana has to be taken to reasoning, thinking is necessary. So it is an interesting episode. That is, we'll see that word by word, etc. So what is it? A person from Gandhara Desha. Gandhara Desha. You know what is Gandhara Desha? Present Afghanistan. A person from Gandhara Desha was kidnapped and taken. I think Talibans were there at that time also possibly. He was kidnapped and he was robbed. He was taken to a forest, blindfolded and left. Now, and hands are tied, and he is shouting for help. After a long time, some passerby saw the plight of this person and took pity on him. He untied his hands, removed the blindfolds. They asked, "From where are you?" He said, "I don't know where I am at." I said, "But what is your from?" "I am from Gandhara Desha." "I am from Gandhara Desha." So Gandhara Desha. Then that person tells him how to go to Gandhara Desha, all the villages and all that are there in the way, etc. Now he has understood the instruction. Itself will not work. He should remember, and he has to at places infer, etc. Left turn, right turn, left, right, like that. That British Bob, you know. You ask someone to go, say, take a left, right, take a right, that the habit of right, left, right, left, you totally get confused. No, he should be able to understand. He says, that is what is there. What is necessary? Purusha Buddhi Sahaya. So that is help of Purusha Buddhi is necessary. Let us see.
आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो माया समाच्छादना सन्मात्रकरणोपसंहरणतो यो भूषुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये अशुभानि निराचष्टे तनोति शुभसन्ततिं श्रुतिमात्रेण यत्पुंसां ब्रह्म तन्मङ्गलं परम् अतिकल्याणरूपत्वात् नित्यकल्याणसंश्रयात् स्मर्तॄणां वरदत्वाच्च ब्रह्म तन्मङ्गलं विदुः ओङ्कारश्चात शब्दश्च द्वावेतौ ब्रह्मणः पुरा कण्ठं भित्त्वा विनिर्यातौ तस्मात्